The Ansible config file. So in this video, we're going to show you how the Ansible config file works. This is not going to be a super big deep dive. We're not covering all of the, we're not covering every single option you could possibly put in there. We're just going to cover the absolute basics so you know how to use the config file and where the config file can be found. Purpose for this video is that this is part of a series. So, you know, there are a bunch of videos that came before this and a bunch that came after this. Make sure you check out the playlist, but this is just part of the series, and this video is just meant to fit in the series, and this is just one of the things you need to know, and this deserves its own video. So in any case, the config file could be located in a few different places. So it's going to, Ansible will search for the config file basically in this order. The first thing it's going to search for is an environment. It's going to search for a path in this environment variable, right? So this does not exist on my system. So run that, nothing there. So it's not going to find anything there. Next thing it's going to look for is ansible.cfg in the current directory. Doesn't exist in the current directory, but that would be the next place it looks for. So after that, it will look under your home directory for a .ansible.cfg. So take a look at that, and that's where I have it. Now the other location it would look for is under etc Ansible, ansible.cfg. This is the last place it'll look, and we don't have it there. So 4 different locations inside that config variable, and in the current directory, then in your home directory, but it's going to be hidden with a dot, and then underneath etc Ansible, right? So remember, check the link in the description if you want to see those actual paths. If you want to see a list of those locations and an example config file. Anyways, let's take a look at this config file to VI this. Now, super simple. I was configuring this to use a specific SSH key, removed that, and just placed it in a standard location, so I don't need that anymore. Turned off the cows feature. That's a whole other story. Just one convenient setting I wanted to set. So the default section of it, host key checking. This is one of the more common things you're going to want to put in here. Now, checking your host key is important for security, but if you commonly rename and shut down hosts, if you tear down a host and then bring up another host using the same IP address or name, you're going to get host key issues. So, and that's going to be a problem, and you won't be able to connect. So turning that off can be an important thing. You just have to be careful with that. In any case, yeah, that's the one main useful thing I have in here. But anytime you want to set default settings, you can add them to your ansible.cfg. So that's basically everything I wanted to show you. I'm not showing you all the options you can configure in here. I'm just showing you where it is, how you set the options. This is the place you're going to come to configure things if and when you need to add other configurations. So far, this is all I'm using right now. You can add a lot of other things. Like you can specify a default number of forks every time Ansible connects to things. There's going to, whatever's optimal for your system, you can decide on that and configure that here if you want to. But this is as far as we're going with this today. Remember, check the link in the description for commands and examples. Hopefully this was useful. Now, this video is part of a series, so make sure you check out the other videos in this playlist if you want to learn everything. We also put out a ton of other great tech-related content, including Linux and Windows stuff, hardware, software, coding, electronics, Raspberry Pi stuff, robots, 3D printing, networking, and a ton of other stuff. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. It'll make your feed that much more interesting. Also, make sure you hit the bell icon so you actually get a notification when new videos come out. And that's it for today. So, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.